Hello students, welcome to my channel Science No Problem. My name is Tish Kumar Sharma and I am teaching you science. So students, uh, our today's video is also very important and very useful. So please watch the video till end. And uh, before we start our video, so like, share and subscribe our channel to support us. So students, uh, let's take fast recapitulation of the work which we have done so far. So we were doing actually characteristics of chemical reactions, and we were doing formation of precipitates actually. So I have already told you what are precipitates. So in a solution, when liquid part and solid part gets separated, then the solid part are actually precipitates. So, and we have also actually discussed that precipitates are formed when actually two salts solution react. And I have already told you that salts are actually ionic compounds made up of metals and non-metals. So we have discussed all these things in our previous video. So we also in today's video also we will continue this formation of precipitates concept. So actually we will take some more reactions to understand this our topic today. So let's take some more equations or reactions. So the first reaction is between copper barium chloride and sulfuric acid. Barium chloride plus sulfuric acid. Now, students, I had told you in our last video that ionic compounds actually made up of metals and non-metals. But here, and I also told you that salts are ionic compounds. But I would like to tell you that not only salts are chemical ionic compounds, but acids are also ionic compounds. And acids are not made up of metals and metals. So for example, so let me tell you once again that ionic compounds acids are also ionic compounds. Acids are also ionic compounds. Not only salts, but acids are also actually ionic compounds. So now here in this actually example of this acid, barium chloride plus acid, sulfuric acid. So sulfuric acid is an ionic compound. But this is not salt. This I want to tell you that not only salts are ionic compounds, acids are also ionic compounds. So this sulfuric acid is also ionic compound. Now ionic compound salts, for example, but this is not salt. Salts are made up of metals and non-metal. But here if you see, so all the atoms are of non-metals. And I had already told you that we have two types of compounds, ionic and non-ionic. Non-ionic compounds are actually covalent compounds. So if we divide compounds, then we divide them into two categories: ionic and non-ionic, or ionic and covalent compounds. So uh, this is actually ionic compounds are made up of metals and non-metals, but covalent compounds are made up of only non-metals. Covalent compounds are made up of only non-metals. So sulfuric acid, this is actually a covalent compound, but still it is ionic in nature. So this point I would I wanted to tell you that ionic compounds are not only salts, but acids are also actually ionic compounds. So some covalent compounds are also ionic. I wanted to tell you this. This is actually covalent compounds, but this is also ionic. So now I hope that this point is clear to you. This is, let me tell you once again, sodium chloride is ionic compounds, whereas sulfuric acid is covalent compounds. Why this is ionic compounds? Because this is made up of metal and non-metal, and sulfuric acid is only made up of non-metals. So covalent compounds are those compounds which are made up of non-metals. So this is covalent compound actually, but this covalent compound is also ionic. This I actually wanted to tell you. So I hope that you understood this. So this is ionic. Now why this is ionic? Because actually hydrogen is non-metal actually, but you know it is also placed in metals. Why this is placed in metals? Because this also has tendency to give electrons. So that is why metals are those elements which have tendency to give electrons, and non-metals are those elements which have tendency to take up electrons. So the hydrogen is actually non-metal, but it actually has tendency to give metal, so it behaves like metals. So that is why hydrogen has positive charge and sulfate has negative charge. Similarly, barium is metal, so this has positive charge, and chlorine, this has negative charge. Now what will be formed, you know very well. So this is a double displacement reaction. This will displace hydrogen and hydrogen will displace barium. Actually there is exchange of positive ions. I had told you in last video this thing. So what is formed is hydrogen chloride plus barium sulfate. Hydrogen chloride plus barium sulfate. This is hydrochloric acid, and this is S is there. So I also told you last video that where S, how we identify precipitates in a given reaction? By seeing S. So the product with which S is written, so that product is actually your precipitates. So these are we have white precipitates of barium sulfate in this reaction. So my students, I think this is clear to you. Let's take another example. Copper sulfate plus H2S gas. When H2S gas, hydrogen sulfide gas, is passed through copper sulfate, again we have precipitates. So again here you can also understand that this is actually hydrogen sulfide H2S gas, and this is covalent compound. Why this is covalent compound? I have already told you, because this is made up of only non-metals, but still it is ionic. It is ionic. And copper sulfate is already ionic. This is salt, so it has positive charge and negative charge. So positive and negative. Actually, H2S is not actually acid, but still it is ionic compound. So actually, not only acids and salts are ionic. There are other covalent compounds which are also actually ionic. So let me make this point clear to you. So now you can write products yourself. What will be the product? Copper sulfide, because hydrogen will go here and copper will come here. So we have copper sulfide plus exchange of positive ions, H2SO4. Now we get, this is S here. This is solid part. So this is actually, these are precipitates. So black precipitates of copper sulfide we get. Black precipitates of copper sulfide. So I think that these reactions are clear to you. So let me again tell you what I have told you today, that ionic compounds are actually salts and acids, and in addition to salt and acid, there are other actually covalent compounds which are ionic. So this I wanted to make you clear. Now I will give you some questions which you should try to answer. Question number 1 is that you are given a solution of lead nitrate. You are given a solution of lead nitrate to obtain yellow precipitates. To obtain yellow precipitate, you mix it with a solution of a solution of first option is potassium chloride, B is potassium nitride, C is potassium sulfide, and D is potassium iodide. Potassium iodide. There is another question also. White precipitates can be obtained by adding that dilute sulfuric acid, sulfuric acid to, first option is copper sulfate solution, B is sodium chloride solution, C is barium chloride solution, D is potassium iodide. Potassium iodide solution. So students, I have given you two questions to answer. So if you understood this topic, then you must be able to give right answers of these questions. So I think that this topic is clear to you. Now next characteristic of chemical reaction is change in color. Change in color. So now we will study change in color. So my dear students, when we add citric acid to potassium permanganate solution, when we add, number 3 characteristics of chemical reactions, number 3 is change in color. Change in color. So when we add citric acid to potassium permanganate solution, and the color of potassium permanganate is purple color. Actually you might have seen potassium permanganate, it is germicide also. So to use used to actually wash glasses or utensils, and this was also used, this is used as medicine also, to actually for wounds on skin. So this is also used as a medicine also to cure wounds on skin, and this is germicide actually. So when we add citric acid to potassium permanganate solution, then the purple color of potassium permanganate disappears. Though, so this shows that the reaction between citric acid and potassium permanganate is a chemical reaction. And my dear students, citric acid is found in lemon. This is also important thing to know, that citric acid is found in lemon. And next is reaction is that when sulfur dioxide gas is passed through potassium dichromate solution, then the actually orange color of potassium dichromate solution turns into deep green color. Again, when sulfur dioxide gas is passed through potassium dichromate solution, then the orange color of potassium dichromate turns into a dark green color. So again, the reaction between sulfur dioxide and potassium dichromate is also a chemical reaction. In this reaction, color is changing. So I hope that you understood this characteristic also, the chemical reactions in which actually color changes. So first reaction was between citric acid and potassium permanganate KMnO4. This is potassium permanganate. Permanganate. So its color is pink. So when this reaction changes, so it disappears. So color disappears. My dear students, I hope that you are also writing the important points which I am discussing in the video. Second was reaction between sulfur dioxide, when sulfur dioxide gas is passed through potassium dichromate K2Cr2O7. This is potassium dichromate, and I have already told you the method to learn the symbols or name of chemical compound or any chemical equation or any chemical formula or formula related to mathematics, that repeatedly write that 10 times, 20 times, 50 times, even 100 times, and you will see that the formula or chemical reaction or anything you are learning becomes actually printed in your brain. So this is method of learning any formula or chemical reaction. Now let me give you one more question, question related to change in color. That question is very simple question. When sulfur dioxide gas is passed through potassium dichromate solution K2Cr2O7, write this compound 10 or 20 times and it will get learned to you. Then orange color of the solution changes to A is yellow, B is green, C is red, D is no change in color. So my dear students, if you have attentively watched this video, then you must be able to answer this question. So anyway, this is all for today. Thank you very much for watching my channel, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. So this is all for today. So keep learning and keep growing. Thank you very much.